anniversary of the Gettysburg Address, right? Which is a stark reminder that what is exceptional about this country is that we are dedicated to a proposition. We are not a nation of blood, we are not a nation of tribe, we are not a nation of a faith, we are not a nation of anything except a creed, a set of ideas that are captured in Gettysburg, right? And then a declaration, and I have a dream, and a few other pieces of civic scripture. That's it, right? And to be a patriot is not just to say, yeah, we've got this creed, we're awesome, we're better than everybody else, right? To be a patriot is to recognize, truly, to be a patriot is to recognize that we have this creed, and we have how we actually live, how we actually see each other, how we actually discriminate against one another, how opportunity and advantage and disadvantage are still actually determined in ways that they shouldn't be by race, by color, by income, by things not of one's own choice. And that as long as we're still down here in fact, the job of a true patriot is to close that gap. The job of a true patriot is to still believe in that creed and to redeem it by pushing us every day, every decade, every generation a little bit more closely in alignment with it, right? And as a son of immigrants, I feel that especially powerful. But I think all of us should feel that. We all own that, right? And this idea that I'm literally second generation, and that my parents were the first to come here, but actually this is the thought that closes the book, Guardians of Democracy. I'll just use it to close out here today. Like, when we think of kind of the great kind of proto-Americans, we think about the founding generation, right? Founders and the framers of the Constitution. But actually, I think I'm much more interested, I've always been more interested in the generation that followed them. So like Daniel Webster's generation, the generation that either weren't born or were just kids when the revolution happened, but the first one to be born into a free and independent United States, right? So Daniel Webster had the dumb luck just to be born into this place that was now a free and independent democracy, at least on paper, right? And the question for Daniel Webster was, what am I going to do to earn it? What am I going to do to live up to it? What am I going to do to make sure that this baton that's been passed to me from the likes of Jefferson and Washington and so forth doesn't get dropped by me, right? And in that sense, we are all second generation. We are not the founders. We are all the second generation. We are all recipients of a baton that someone else started the race with, right? And my identity as an Asian American, as a Chinese American, as a son of immigrants, makes me believe that super strongly. But I think that this isn't even about race anymore, right? This is just about the American story and the fact that we, as Democrats and as Americans, have both this opportunity and this obligation to make sure this experiment runs one more generation, right? That's all we have control over, is to make sure it runs successfully one more generation. And I think, again, by showing up and coming together for gatherings like this, you're showing yourselves ready to learn how to do that. And I just want to say, I want to be part of that learning. I want to be as helpful as I can to all of you. And let me give you a couple of ways to stay in touch if any of you are so inclined or interested. If anybody's on Twitter, I'm on Twitter at Eric P. Liu, L-I-U. I'm on Facebook too. And Citizen University is just citizenuniversity.us. I'll follow up with some of your officers here about really pulling together a cohort of you to come join us. But even between now and March, if there are other ways where any of you would like to engage further in our work or want to get involved in things in Seattle and Washington State but aren't quite sure how, hit me up via Twitter and otherwise and just get in contact. And I want to be as helpful as I can to this organization and to your cause. Thanks very much for having me tonight.
So thank you all for coming. Hope you all enjoyed the talk. Sorry? Okay, cool. Really quick, I just felt obligated to invite you. We always go out to the bubble tea after our meetings if you're free. I don't know.